Now the topic is arrays. So in this video we'll learn what is an array and how to create and access an array in Java, and then for each loop, like we have learned 3 loops and said there is 4th loop that I'll show you. So here we can learn about it using arrays. So first of all, the basic idea of an array. See, array is a collection of similar data elements. So what is an array means? It's a collection of similar data elements. So in mathematics we write sets or collection of elements. So this is a collection of elements, 8, 3, 9, 5, all these are numbers only. All these are numbers, similar type. See, if I write 8, 3, 9, 5 and instead of 5, if I write K letter, so this is nowhere related. They are not all similar. So this is not an array. Array means all should be similar, right? So this is a number again. Now in mathematics, when we write collection of values and we give some name, this is X. So X means all these 6 values. Then how do you differentiate them? So in mathematics, we write like this. This is X0, this is X1, X2, X3, X4, X5. This is how we give the indices. So we use the same name X and we give the index. This is the 0th element, 1st element, 3rd element. So the same idea is used in programming also. So array is a common thing in all programming languages. So it's also there in Java. So now let us see how we can create and access an array in Java, how it is created, where it is created. Now let us see how to create an array and how it is created inside the memory, how it looks like in Java. See, array is a collection of similar data elements. So you have to select a data type. So the array's data type must be selected. So let us say I want an integer type array, int. And what is the name of an array? A. And then we have to give empty brackets. See, it is little different from C and C++. So here we don't mention the size. So in C, C++ we can write down the size here. We give the size. No, this should be empty. Then after this we must write new int of whatever the size you want. Suppose I want array of size 5. So now this is how an array is created. How it looks like. See, this is the data type. This is called as reference of an array. This is reference. So if you remember in the topic of strings, I have shown you that this is a reference. Right here, whatever is there before the assignment, I was showing that str I was using, that was a reference. So yes, here is a reference. Now when I say reference, what is the other side? It's an object. Yes, in Java, every array is an object. This is an object. We call it as an object. And when we are saying new, whenever we say new, an object is created, and that too it is created in heap. So yes, every array in Java is created in heap, and this is the reference. So how it looks like, I will draw it. These are 5 integers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this A is a reference to that one, or it holds that object of array. So this is an object, this is a reference. So it stores the address. So we call it as a reference here in Java. So this is created in heap. This is created in heap. And this can be anywhere, either in stack or heap. It depends, right? So, but this is created in heap. This is definitely inside a heap. So every array object is created in heap. Now I can access all these locations by using their index, and all these locations are side by side, that is contiguous inside the memory, and all these are integers. So as integer takes 4 bytes, so total amount of memory is 5 integers and size of integer is 4, so total 20 bytes of memory it consumes. This is how we can create an array. Now one more important thing about arrays. See, array is having a property or a field, that is length of an array. Every array object in Java will have its length as a property. See, what is the length of this one? 5. So along with these 5 integers, it will also have one property called length, and that length is integral type, that is integer type only, and it will have the value. Suppose you want to know the length of any array, this array if you want to know, and if you want to print that one, then you can say system.out.println. Anywhere in the program, if you write this, a dot length, just you have to give the array name, a dot length, Remember, it's not a method, so you don't have to write the brackets after that one. This is the property, directly you can access it. So every array object will have length, so it will give you the size of this one. So the size of this one is 5, though the indices are starting from 0 ending at 4, but the size is 5. So it will give you the length of an array. So this is about creating an array, and also I have shown you the property. Now there are more methods of creating array. I will show you that. See, suppose I want to create an array, I will give the same name A, and I want some values to be stored. So if you see that I have not stored any values in this one. I want that array to have some values, then directly I can mention the values here. I don't have to mention the size. So I'll give the values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to store 5 values. Now here you can see that size is not given. Then how it will decide the size? Depending on the number of values that I am giving here, it will decide the size. So for creating an array, either I can mention the size or I can mention the element. So if you want to see this diagrammatically, then A will be referring to this array object of 5 integers, and the elements will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These will be the elements and these are the indices. So this is how it looks like. So whatever the number of elements you are giving here, it will take the exact size, not more, not less. Now next thing we will see how to access the elements in an array. Like this was empty, suppose I want to store some values, or this is having the values, I want to print them. How to access these elements? So for accessing the elements, I have created an array, that same array what I have shown you. This is an empty and having size 5. So initial values in this one will be zeros. Remember this, when you create an array, when you have not initialized, it will have the default values of the data type. We have already learned this in variable. So any variable you create, it will take the default value. So here, this is a collection of integers. So all will have default value. Here I have already initialized them. So these values will be there. Now I want to display that. How to display? So I have to print that element, right? Displaying. So print this one. So I will say system.out.println. So I'm writing in short SOP A of 0. A of 0. So I can access every element in an array by using the array name and its index. This is the method, this is the syntax, A of 0. Like suppose here I want to store in this one, I want to store a value 15 here. Then I should say A of 0 assign 15. So 15 will be stored here. So already I have values there, so I want to print them. So this will print only one value. Now I want to print next value. So this should be 1. Then it will print that next value. Then if I make it as 2, then it will print this one, 3, then it will. So in this way, I want to do it for all the elements from 0 to 4. Then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like counting. Yes, you can repeatedly do this using for loop. So let us use for loop. For I assign integer I will declare it also here. I assign 0. I is less than how much? What is the length? Length is 5. So there are 5 elements. So I can say a dot length less than 5, that is 4, and I plus plus. And here instead of writing 0, 1, 2, I can write I. So first time I value will be 0, so it will print 0, then I plus plus, I becomes 1, then 1, that is A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, up to A of 4. So like for accessing array, for loop is used. So I said that for loop is more frequently used one, and arrays are the more frequently objects. So for loops are used there for arrays. Now here in this for loop, this will be printing from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Suppose I want to reverse print, then I have to start it from for integer I assign a dot length minus 1. So as length is 5, so I should start from 4 onwards. So a dot length minus 1, I is greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. Then inside this, if I say system.out.println a of I, so this will be printing all the elements reverse from last element to the first element. So using a for loop, you can access all the elements or traverse an array. That is, like visiting all of them is called as traversing. Traverse all the elements in an array, either direction, that is from left to right or right to left. Now next, for each loop. For accessing arrays, Java has introduced for each loop in version Java 1.5 or Java 5. It is famously known as. So Java 1.5 version. So for each loop is for arrays. Like for loop is frequently used for accessing the element. So instead of using for loop, you can use for each loop. So let me show you here how to use for each loop for accessing all these elements. For accessing all the elements, for integer x. Oh, I was writing I there. I most frequently I is used, but I am writing x here. Colon a. This means for each x in a. I'll show you what is that. Then I want to print. Here I was printing. Same thing I want to do. So say system.out.println x. Oh, see there I was saying a of I, but here I am just saying x. So what is this? This will print all the elements. So simple. For every x value in a, what does it mean? Let us see. First time x will become 2. So print 2. Next time x will become 4. So 4. Then 6. 6 is printed, then 8 is printed, then 10 is printed, over, stops. So x has taken all the values in an array, all the elements. So this is easy. We don't have to know the length and the size of an array. Simply we can access all the elements, but we can access only in forward direction, right? We cannot access in backward direction, but it's easy to access all the elements. Now this is the most frequently used loop upon arrays, that is for each loop. Now let me show you the difference, how for is working and how this is working. Let us see. Here for loop, I assign 0. So what is 0 here? Index, this one. Then I plus plus, next index, next index, next index. So I is working as index of an array. Then actually we want element 2, 4, 6, 8. Then how to say that? A of this index, so we get the value. A of this index, so A of 1, we get this value. A of 2, so A of I, we get the value. That's why we have to mention array name and we have to use I as an index. So I is not taking the values, I is taking indices of all the elements. But what is the difference here? X is taking the values, so we don't need the indices. Directly it is taking the values. So that's it. This is more user friendly or programmer friendly loop now. For accessing the array, this is the loop. So this is about for each loop, which can access array only in forward direction. This is an alternate for loop upon arrays. So in the next video, I will give you the demonstration of this one. Whatever I have explained, I will show it in the form of program. Then we will discuss further about arrays.